All right. Hello, everyone. It is CAG Illidran, okay, from CA Gold. All right. So I'm going to be making a tier list, and this is based on just all the teams, how I view them, and, a structure. So, and this isn't dedicated towards a specific tournament or anything, because, like, let's say the next major Cal Cup, not all of these teams down here are going to be in it. Now there's, I believe, two that I don't think are still playing. That would be Typhoon or Remnant, so I may just leave them out. Also, I want to explain why I chose this format right here with S plus, S, A, B, and C. So when ranking the teams, say like the top four or top five, they can be viewed as almost S plus because there is almost a hard line between those teams and everyone below. So I brought in this S tier to kind of separate it. And so yeah, first off, I'm actually going to start in the hardest to start area. Okay, so I'm going to start with the A tier and the B tier. The reason why these are the hardest teams to actually rank is because when it comes to actual stats, usually what keeps the team like out of the top eight is one of the top four teams, usually. Or they knock each other out, and it's like somebody at the top of A tier versus somebody at the bottom of A tier. The person at the top of A tier is gonna knock the person at the bottom of A tier out, even though that team they knocked out might still be an A tier team. So it's just harder to rank them. All right, so first I'm going to start with Nova. Okay, I'm putting them in A tier near the top. Okay, now recently we played them actually last night, and I was a bit impressed with just it was an odd style. Okay, they pulled out 4 TIE bombers and a support, but they were actually vibing and they were making stuff happen. Um, Now we at the time we were missing Ham, our main support. So, and we had Knight and playing support himself, and we had Shikwa playing Knight's role. So, like that may have made our team just worse, and so that may have allowed them to shine. But I was personally impressed by how they were playing. It'll be interesting to see how they do in the next tournament. I believe they've made top eight now a couple times. I could go back and check. I'm just kind of lazy. So I think that they are a solid contender for A tier. Next up, I'm going to put Fracture. They've always, for the last couple tournaments now, pretty much the last 2 months, they've been pretty damn solid. Even like the SCL Season 2 brackets, even though we were just missing Knight, like they were still like giving us a bit of a challenge. Early, especially like at the first game, we ended up losing that one against them. Next one, I'm gonna put Guac. Guac has been doing also some interesting things. I know that they've done some like 2 support work and just doing some really interesting things. They've always been a pretty solid team. Um, so I think these 3 do definitely deserve A tier. Let's see, who do I want to put next? Let's put Baywatch. Baywatch is, in my mind, like how Fracture's kind of attached to Splinter. Well, Baywatch, same thing with Randalorians. They're just kind of like similar in skill level. So I'm actually gonna put them next to each other. And they're just really solid too as well. They've done pretty well. I mean, they've managed to get in top 16 consistently, and then even top 8. Um, and then next, I'm gonna put Tempest. Tempest has been at one point I didn't think that they were as good as they were, but then like lately they've been really kind of showing me it's like these guys aren't just truly, they're not just like messing around, putting a team out there and just, doing whatever. They're actually doing stuff. So I enjoy playing against them. They do give us a challenge at times. So definitely, I think that they deserve a spot in the A tier. And then let's go with, do I want to start on B tier now? I think I'm going to put Orange at the bottom of A tier. Okay. So they've made it to top 16 consistently and either been knocked out by one of the top 4 teams or have they made it to, I want to say they made it once to the top 8. I really want to say it. Okay. And also, I mean, they gave us our Vitamin C and Twin Suns tournament when it came to us going all the way up to the finals way back. So Gotta give them some credit, right? So I think they're on the line between B and A tier. I think they against any of the teams in front of them right here, they tend to struggle a bit. Um, and then for B tier, I wanna put uh Savrip and Orange. They're so close. So I have a lot of respect for both teams, okay? Especially with Savrip, but I think this is where I'm going to draw the line between A and B tier. I just think that they have some strategy issues as to what each player on the team is doing, which kind of holds them back a bit. They have some great players, Quintessence, Agent Rob, and and then few others that are just really good players. It's just I think what's holding them back a lot is strategy when it comes to breaking into the A tier. Okay, let's see. I'm gonna put Rancor Roughnecks. I haven't seen them as much. I know the players and they're really good. I just haven't seen as much. There might even be a bit of contention for them to be an A tier, but for right now, I'm putting them in high B tier. And you'll notice some of these lower teams, I don't really know them quite as well, like Hex Squadron. Like I know the players individually, but I don't always see them playing in a five stack. So I'm putting Hex Squadron next because like I know that they're a pretty solid team. I just haven't seen as much. And then let's see, Hut Cartel. Oh man, I almost feel bad. I almost don't want to put them down here. I almost don't. I know that they produce results, but at the same time, I've seen them struggle. So I'm gonna put them ahead of Hex. Um, so this is where I'm gonna put them. And keep in mind, these teams right here, these four are very, very close together. Okay. There could be times when Orange might be, down here and Hut could be up here. Okay. There are times when Rancor Roughnecks could be up there and it'd be better. But for now, I think this is where I'm gonna put them. Niwi Crone. So Niwi Squadron, I know the players, but in general, I think they have all right tactics. It's just I don't see as much out of them. They just kind of like make top 16 and then don't quite make it to top 8. And I mean, by the way, disclaimer, I mean no offense to any of the players or any of the teams, okay? And then let's see. Here's where I'd want to put Rim now. I don't even know if they're still playing. I know Typhoon had a couple players drop. I think they've officially disbanded in Remnant. So I'm gonna put Remnant here for now. Just to kind of even it out. Mainly because when they're together, back when I remember, not doesn't seem like too long ago. I could be wrong. I could be completely wrong, but um, I think they used to be really solid. They used to be almost A tier, but then they just kind of started falling out as each tournament came. So I'm putting them down here because I haven't seen them play in a long time. I don't even know if they're still playing. Um, and then C tier, I'm gonna put TFA down here. No offense to those guys. I know that they play a lot and they enjoy the game. I don't get the vibe that they are super, super competitive like anybody, you know, up above. All right, so now let's go on. And then also, almost forgot CA Blue. I'm gonna put Remnant back down here. So CA Blue, okay. They've been working really hard as of pretty recently, so I'm putting them down here. But I do like in any future like tournament, maybe not this upcoming one, but the one after, I could see them almost as a dark horse candidate to start challenging some of the A tier guys. They still have quite a ways to go before they're ever going to start challenging S tier, but I have a lot of respect for them. Hopefully, I'm not forgetting anyone. All right, S plus. Y'all know I'm on CA Gold. Gotta put them up here. And in general, I mean, so I'm gonna throw them all up here, not in any particular order right now. Okay, so we've for the last two Cal Cups that we played in, took it, won it, and I think that's pretty known that like we have a lot of good results as far as tournaments with a lot of good teams in them. Second, I'm gonna have Randalorians, and actually I'm gonna put Cheese. Okay, And no offense, Randalorians, like keep in mind, yeah, y'all and G's, Randalorians, IG, and Splinter, like y'all are always so close that it's really hard. Each tournament, one could do better than the other, um and whatnot. But I'm putting Cheese up here because every time they've played, they've always produced quite a bit of a challenge, and even like won at a lot of times too. And they've always done like top four for the longest time, and they barely like play as a team. Like they'd come back from like a month hiatus and like play for like a week, and they're unwashed now. And then Raynalorians and IG now they're it's really tough to pick a spot specifically for them. They flip flop a lot, I think, and they kind of uh, beat each other, beat some of the other guys up here at the top. Um, so that's where I'm putting them for now. No offense to the IG guys. I know that like there might be some beef between certain specific players. We're not getting into that. So I personally don't care. I tend to be unbiased when it comes to situations like that. Um, Splinter. I don't want to put them in S plus right now. I really don't. I think at this very moment they're still in the process of getting unwashed or getting their vibe back. They took a month and a half hiatus. They're missing Finkar. I think one of their other players either is just less active or has stopped really playing in the comp scene, and I feel like that's hurt Splinter a bit. They've had like let's say his last Cal Cup. I mean, they ended up losing. At one point. That was it against Nova? I think it may have been against Nova. But then in the SCL, this last SCL match, or the first SCL season 3 match, Splinter had a clean win against them. So I don't know if it was due to one of the players being missing and they were subbing out, or just they just weren't in the right mindset, which happens. So for right now, I'm putting them in S tier because until they can adequately start challenging any SCH gold cheese randos or IG, I don't feel comfortable with having them at the top with us. Great players. I'm very confident that when it comes to October, that they're going to be ready. So we'll just see what happens with that. So here's my tier list for now. I do want to mention to some of y'all, I think what separates a lot of these teams right here, and even Splinter, especially at their prime, to everyone else, is you have the combination of really good tactics and then really good individual player skill. I mean, sure, you might have some players scattered throughout some of these teams that might be better than a number of the players up here. But as far as like overall team consistency and team skill, it's just at a slightly higher level. And then as well, I think what holds a lot of these teams back is a good support, someone who can stay alive, be in the fight, be there, and do their job without even under pressure. Getting marks out, resupplies. I know IG they use Narcissist. He uses Tractor Beam, and I've seen him use Mask. I've seen him use a number of different things other than just beacons and resupply. A lot of respect for him. Very good support. But yeah, I think that's what a lot of teams, and then as well, understanding the game at its fullest, as in how to win it. I think there are certain teams with certain players that prefer to just PK only, and you end up with scoreboards of somebody. Yeah, they might have 7, 8, 10 kills, but they only have like 5k cap ship damage. And really, unless if you got all of those kills at the right moment, it's the value just isn't there for how much you have to work for it. Um, and I think that holds back some of the teams down here as well. But the other thing is just overall execution, and being able to burn cruisers, burn Raider, and burn ISD and MC75 as fast as possible. And they're just not quite there. Now they are very quickly catching up. I could if I make another one of these a few weeks from now or right before October. I could end up just doing the SABCD tier list, and because we might be closer. You might actually have some of the top A teams actually really contending for a top four or spot in a tournament. And really, you have to realize if you're challenging a top four spot, you are automatically challenging the top spot in a tournament. Especially you have all these, like if all of these teams are playing right here, CA Gold, Cheese, Randos, IG, and Splinter, give or take one team. Then if you're able to beat one of us, then you're contending for the top spot. So that's why we've been seeing in some of the tournaments with a lot of these teams, and just we just kind of take the top four spots. Occasionally, we might get placed against randos, and one of us might just get knocked out and only make top 16. And that's just it be like that. Um, but yeah, these are my thoughts on where the teams are at. I apologize for some of the teams that I may not know quite as well. Um, I could probably bump up CA Blue a little bit. It's just I don't know as much. I haven't seen Hut in a while. And same thing with Hex and Ewe Crone. And so I don't know if it's fair to bring CA Blue up or not. I'd love to. Great team, great players. I've been working with them recently, so uh, just hoping to see what happens. Anyways, I am CAG Eldrin, and I am out. However, I stopped the recording.